Why are bottlenecks detrimental for gameplay? Give me... What's the example we want to use here? Probably this, because this looks like a fine map. This looks like a fine map. I'ma sketch you the gameplay. Alright, I'ma sketch you the elements of the system, and then you can piece it together yourself. There's a couple elements here to ground combat, okay? There is a very important one. The way ground companies are handled. You can land, for example, an infantry force of, I think you get 4 stormtrooper squadron or like battalions in a infantry like group. You can land those, move those around. At the same time, you could also land an AT-80 or like 3 artillery pieces. Now, some of these are clearly better than others. For example, the AT-80s and the artillery will beat the infantry 100 times out of 95 times out of 100. That's one element. Another element, the map layout itself. As you can see, all these bottlenecks and the branching paths and all that. Now, they're not just branching in the sense that there's like too many ways to go, but they're still like, go here and then go here. There's a lot of turns. There's a lot of T-splitting, you know? T-turns. Whatever you want to call them. Another element is the population value. At the max, there is 10 population value that you can have on the ground. So you can max land 10 AT-80s or 10 infantry battalions, 30 artillery pieces, and you can mix and match, of course. There's another element, which is that you don't get 10 population cap right out of the bat. In fact, you only get the 10 once you actually go out and capture all of these. So what you want to do in every map is always set. Land the biggest thing you can, the heaviest, strongest unit, go to the next area, capture it, go on to the next, capture it, then attack the enemy base and win. It's always the same. Unless you can land, for example, maybe 5 pop cap here, and they can all be 5 like AT-80s, and then you can go straight for the enemy base. Is this Mass Effect? It sounds like it. No, it just sounds like it. It leaves no room for different strategies. It leaves very little room for interesting stuff to happen, because everything you want to do is always preset. And the reason the bottlenecks are such a huge problem is that if you were to cut this down to, say, this, you remove this structure here, so this is accessible. You now get a this versus this dynamic, and everything here can be accessed. Now, there's still a little bit of area you can't access. For example, this area right here and this area down here that you can't access. But at least it will be open, and it will allow you to position your units in a different way than put everything through the choke point as fast as you can. Which is what this is. You want to get your AT-80s from here to here as fast as you can. If you could put them in a straight line, that would be best. Preferably, you'd land them literally inside the enemy base. Can't do that, of course, but that would be best. You want to get your shit on top of the enemy shit as quickly as you can. And because of the aforementioned reasons, and what I explained earlier about the on the green map, was it Yavin? Might have been Yavin, where I said that units are very much in a vacuum in Empire at War, because they'll always kind of meet the enemy units alone. It's never big group versus big group that allows for like interesting tactics and different unit kinds to really play a role. You don't have any specialized vehicles or infantry because it doesn't serve any purpose. It doesn't do anything, because you just want the biggest thing you can build and the strongest against the enemy, because you're always going to meet in some shitty choke point that leaves no room for tactics or specialized units to do something fancy, because it's always just your 2 AT-80s that are behind each other versus the like couple of T-4Bs that are pushing through here to get to you as quickly as they can to try to capture this before you land more shit. Every element is so disconnected and works so poorly together that it kills all the possibilities. And there's a lot of possibilities to be had. This is an RTS game, okay? This is a full-fledged real-time strategy game. And while it may not have like a robust building system, because you can't build buildings, you can still make the units fight like an actual RTS. It doesn't have to be this shit. You just have to tear down literally every element. The maps, the population system, the companies, everything. And build it up again in a way that synergizes and makes sense. In a way that the current stuff does not. I should take this entire clip of everything I just said and put that on YouTube. This is like, somehow I encompassed exactly what I mean to do with the ground overhaul and why vanilla is shit in the span of like 10 minutes. That was actually pretty good. I need to